Well, I think between inflation and deflation, there is something we call, slow or steady development. As I mentioned, China is still in a recovering pace. What does that mean? Which means a lot of people just fully devoted themselves back in the job. And first of all, when you get your job back, thing you got first is your paycheck, your cash flow. So with the cash flow, what you do is treat yourself a little bit. For example, tourism, some restaurant. That's the reason why you see the very hot scene in the hospitality industry. But people will delay their decision on the long-term spending. For example, buying a house or buying a car, and also which require the mortgages and the borrowings, because people will make that decision based on their savings and also their expectations for the futures. And that is going to be done when you repair your balance sheet in the first place. And then when you have the positive savings and also the positive expectations, and then you will devote yourself in the long-term spending. So it's going to take a while. Rome is not going to build in one day. After 3 years, we've been facing this impact of the situation. And then we still need some time because the consumption won't come back with just a snap of the fingers. But I'm very confident in the next stage, probably in the next second half of the year, everything is going to be better than now.
And considering the latest figures, what policy responses do you anticipate from the Chinese government, and how may these responses impact the country's economic outlook?
Well, for the policy-wise, I think a monetary policy has already done their best job. You see the M2 numbers keep on growing, but the problem is their credit. It's because, as I mentioned, when you're repairing your balance sheet, you probably would not dare to borrow more and extend your leverage. That's a reasonable consideration, right? And also, for next thing we need to do is about the fiscal policies. What does that mean? I think President Roosevelt in the New Deal has already showed us a good example. This moment, the government, as one of the most important factors in the economy, should provide the first kick on the engine. And right now, we're doing a lot of things on the infrastructures and investment, and also government spending, and also the scientific research and development. And by all this investment, we try to provide more of the jobs into the market. And later, I think government, what they need to do, and also they've been discussing about this, is provide more subsidies and also helps to the SME, the small and medium-sized enterprises, which provides most of the number of the jobs and provide most of the part of the GDP, as well as providing the subsidies to the most vulnerable people and household who does not have a job right now, providing them subsidies and allowances and job trainings. And this combined together probably will provide more of the confidence and then the momentum we need for the continuous economic growth.